Saturday in the studio, come on in. Lisa and Dave, let the fun begin. Grab your stamps, your paper, your glue. We've got crafty inspiration just for you. Colors and layers, memories to keep. Laughing and creating joy runs deep. Cards and pages made with heart. Let's make some magic. Let's make some.
Hi friends, welcome to Saturday in the Studio. My name is Lisa Schmidt. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we are having a mermaid party in our house. Unfortunately, it's not nice, so we can't go outside, but we are having Frankie's 6th birthday party, mermaid theme. So looking forward to that. Thus, Dave has an Aloha shirt on. I was trying to dress a little bit more beachy to get that vibe, so we'll see. I want to show you today this die that is the product
of the month.
Thank you. Product of the month. It is so pretty. The products of the month I've been super happy with. Let me tell you what those are. When you purchase $75 or more, you can buy it for just $5. And so far I bought each one. I loved the stamp sets that I was able to get and the paper, but this takes the cake. Like, this is gorgeous. So without further ado, let me show you. So this is called the Eyelet Blooms die, the Eyelet Blooms die, and it is so very detailed and so pretty. So it is 6 by 4 1/4. Get all that detail in there. Hi, Tina. Oh, it's so pretty. So I think I want to show you. Well, I'm going to show you a couple things. So first, since it's so detailed, I'll show you some ways to die cut it out. But I'm going to make a card first that I didn't do what I figured out. Does that make sense? Anyway, I die cut it out of lemon lolly. And if you look closely, see how you can see these little cutouts? This one's ready to fall out. I will show you in another card how to avoid that. Okay? So we're going to make a simple lemon lolly card. I say simple. It's not simple. It's a pretty lemon lolly card. It's only simple because it's all done and ready to go. But a lemon lolly. I love this color. It's so springy. Now, you could just put this right on top, but it also looks really nice with a piece of white cardstock underneath. And as I'm looking at it, I can see there are a couple spots where I thought I brought over my little thing. Can you grab it? And the little foam mat. I might have them. I always think I have everything. Poor Dave. Anyway, there's a couple spots I can see that still are not cut out. I'm also going to show you a way to get those out a little bit easier than going through and...
So this would be the take your pick with the brush tool on it.
I love Dave. Take your pick with the brush tool on it. So I'm just going to go over it because I know that each one has 5 little holes. Now, does it matter if it's perfect? No, but that is part of the appeal of it. And these little ones right here, and then I'm just going to flip it over. And those are not coming out, so I'm just going to pop those out. But I am going to show you a way to get those out a little bit easier. So not too much came out, but all right. So I am going to put adhesive on this and pop it on my white, which I cut the same size. And I'm going to put those little things at the bottom. Like I said, I'll show you in a second how to not have those. And I'm just going to put adhesive right on this. I'm not going to worry about that there are little eyelet spots in it. I'm just going to stick it on. So just putting it on our, what is the white? It's not basic white. It's
Whisper white.
Nope.
Nope. Willow.
Willow white. There it is. But it just looks so pretty there. So, and I am just going to do tone on tone on this, but I am going to pop this one up.
Jan says she needs help with this die. So hopefully this morning we'll do it. Or if there's something as we go along, just pop it in the chat. I do think it will help you because I needed help too and I figured it out. So I'm just going to put, I love these strips. I love the strips. And Deb, I'm headed to Destin on Monday.
Unfortunately, I am not headed to Destin on Monday, but it would be nice to go with. That's okay. I'll hold down the fort here. All right. So I am just going to, this one still has a paper on, which is why I can't quite get it ripped off. There we go. Let's get that off. I don't want that piece. All right. And I'm just going to get this last little piece off here. You don't have to pop it up. I just think I like popping things up. I feel like it gives it a little bit more dimension. And I'm just going to set that right on top there. I mean, already it's just so pretty. So very pretty. Okay. I am going to use, this is coming out in May, and it actually is with a Winnie the Pooh set. And if you see this, oh bother, you know right away, oh, that's Winnie the Pooh. It's so cute. But what I'm focusing on that comes with it are these dies. And the dies are just super, super cool. Sorry, they are called the Sweet Words and Labels. Sweet Words and Labels. And
that looks like a die set that's going to be super, super versatile.
Right, right. So I was looking at the word I wanted to use, and I die cut out this one. Okay, so die cut out that. And then as I was looking at it on the Lemon Lolly, I was like, well, it would be nice if it had a little back. Oh, what do you know? There is one that I can die cut the back because they all nest together. So this one right here can fit right around that, which I love. I do love when I can have a little background, and honestly, it's easy, and it's actually made to do that. So let's move this aside. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to stamp it first, but I think that'll look quite nice layered right there. So let's stamp this with, I have lots of new products, and that's, some are new, some are current, some are new to be current. But this is a stamp set called Scalloped Blooms. And I didn't bring over the dies because I'm not really focusing on that, but it does come with a whole set of scallops similar to the layered. I'm thinking Stampin' Up is seeing how much that layered is great. I'm going to use the Happy Birthday. I do really like this. Wishing you a day of relaxation, happiness, and love. There's a thank you. You're a blessing to me. Thinking of you. Hugs. Have a good day. Thank you for being there for me. I'm going with Happy Birthday, and then we'll do that little sentiment on the inside. I am just going to use Memento Black. But before I do, oh no, that's not that one. Nope, that's a different one. Never mind. Never mind. I could, if I wanted to, I could stamp and put that on there, but I'm not going to on this one. I'll do that on a different card. But this one, I'm just going to stamp my sweet little Happy Birthday. And it's a really fine line. It almost looks like a pencil drawing or pencil stamp. So I do really like that. It's just so fine. We'll put some other things on it to dress it up. I'll grab some adhesive here and just put this on. And layers so nicely. Look at that. Oh, I love it. I am very tempted to pop this up again. I think I will. And I think, you know, it's probably going to fit through the mail. I'm not concerned. And if not, you hand it to somebody, but I think it will fit through the mail. I need one more, two more. One there. Should have grabbed the strips and one there. Okay, let's get these off. Boom, boom, boom.
Here's kind of a pro tip. If you have a card that you think is a little bit thick and you might be worried about it, put the thickest part to the top of the envelope.
Oh.
Because their little scanning machine goes across the bottom.
That is a great pro tip.
If it's narrower at the bottom and the little thickness is at the top, you're more likely to get through without an issue.
Okay, great pro tip. So I want to put a little flower on here. I wanted to dress this up just a little bit. And so I found a little flower that I'm going to use in the Fragrant Layers. I don't have a flower in the sets that I'm using. This is current, but in the sets that I'm using for this. So this little die cuts out
Hi, Cheryl.
7 flowers. And then I thought, oh, there's a leaf here, which also die cuts. So I'm using this die and the leaf to dress up my card here. Love dies, love dies. Okay, so I cut out of the seafoam just a little bit of the 2 leaves. And then we're going to put some of these little flowers inside. So I'm just going to use my little bit of glue here. And we're just going to get a little decoration down here. So I'll just plop that on like that. Maybe a little closer. That is the bonus of the glue. It may take a couple seconds more to dry. However, the bonus is I can move it once I set it down. So there's that. And then these I actually cut, I think I cut double. I feel like they're double. Sometimes they do that, and you can do that. Maybe not. All right.
And that is soft seafoam, the green, correct?
Yes, soft seafoam and lemon lolly. Yeah. Yep. Of course, we're going to pop up one of these. So I'm going to put 3 right here. Why are you laughing? Pop up, pop up, pop up.
Next, we have 16 dimensional stacked on top of each other.
They'll go up by the stamp. But I just need a little, I mean, you have to have one little one that pops up here. That's just the way it is. And I actually do need a little one to fit on that flower. So
a mini dimensional.
A mini, yep. And that just happened to come off easily. So I'm going to stick the dimensional to that to get it off. There we go. And just pop up one of those like that. I just think it's really, oh, did it come off? No, I didn't take the paper off. There it is. Now it's stuck to my finger. Okay. I am going to move this because it's glue. I'm going to move it there and pop this one up right there. Okay, I'm just going to hold that for a second. Of course, we want to add a little bit. What's happening here?
What?
I thought I pulled that off. Oh, it was a different one stuck to me. Excuse me. Like, why is it not sticking? It should stick. There we go. Better. And I was thinking the thing that would look really cute with this is just a couple little pearls. And these are our iridescent pearls, basic pearls. And I think they would look sweet right in the middle of our little flower. So I'm going to take a small one. There's 2 sizes. There's a small and a medium. I wouldn't probably call it large, but a small and a medium. And I'm going to stick them right in the middle of that. And one more right over here. There we go. Okay, come on. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to go ahead and stamp that inside while we look at that beauteous. And I'm going to use, I always have to look at the paper to see. It's this one, wishing you, whoa, hello, that's my stamp cleaner. Wishing you a day of relaxing fun. Here we got things rolling all over. Here we go. This one right here. I'm curious, how are we liking the new stamp containers? What are they called? Packaging. How are you liking them as opposed to the box? I know I talked to one person, she's like, I love them. I was like, why? Tell me more. She said, because she doesn't have to, she can just flip through and easily see them. So she really likes them. All right. I see I got a lot of ink on one spot. I'm going to see. And I do think I'm going to use my matte because it is a very delicate stamp. So let's see. Yeah, that's okay. I like it. Wishing you, besides that I got a little smudge right there, but nobody knows that except for you because you just saw it. Okay, let's just make sure that's totally dry. We'll pop that inside here. And then because I did die cut so many flowers, I could put a couple flowers inside here. I could add some of those because there were 7 that I cut out at one time. So we can just like pop one to cover my smudge. Normally I probably wouldn't put one right there, but that's okay. I'm going to because I have a smudge. And then I'm going to put just 2 over here. There's 1 and this one down here. There we go. 2. Just like that. They look like they're even. I did not mean for them to be even. There we go. Okay. So, what do you think? Isn't it gorgeous? Okay, sometimes I'm just like, it's so pretty. How did I possibly make that? Well, thank you, Stampin' Up. Everything works together so well to make that. Isn't that pretty? Okay. 2. What was the 2 answer for?
I put in a poll. Do you prefer? Yes. Do you like the new packaging? Prefer the old, or haven't gotten the new one yet? So don't know.
So 1, 2, or 3.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I prefer the old because I like that I could see the names, and I know some people are switching over their new ones all to old, but I just thought I'm going to try to go with the new.
Exactly.
So anyway, let me set that aside, and I want to show you how this die works.
Mary Jo and Susan are with you.
Yeah, it's just, they didn't ask us, right? And some people love it. And they're not going to offer both. So, yep. All right. So I am going to show you how to die cut this. We're going to die cut this. This is, I almost said ballet blue. Wow, this is hydrangea hue. Let me just switch this. I know, that's a throwback,
not even the
right?
same, but yep.
It does look similar. Hydrangea hue. And I actually just learned recently that when you cut the paper this way, it's good to score it on both sides so that it doesn't get crinkly, because the way the grain is, it folds easier the other way. So if you score both sides, then you'll get it.
You don't get crackles.
Correct. Okay, so we are going to take our little die, and I'm going to show you first, and then I'll die cut it. So see, right, those little spaces came out. So this is 4, this is 4 1/4. I could go a little smaller, but what I don't want is on this edge, I don't want them. I think if I go a little smaller, I won't get any of them. That's okay. So what I'm looking at right here is I don't want to get these up here, these little edges. I don't want those on the edge. So I'm just going to go below, a little bit below that, but I do want those. Do you see what I'm saying? So
it's a little tough to see, but yes.
Okay, so let me flip it over. No, they're both sides the same. So I don't really want this right here, right on the edge, because then I'm going to get, like I did on this one, then I'm going to get these little edges that just come out. It kind of makes, to me, it looks like it's a little bit unfinished. So I'm going to go under that, and we'll see how that goes. How about that?
Oops, Diane does like the old packaging.
Okay. All right. And to die cut this, I forget who was it who said it's a little tricky. It is a little tricky, but I'm going to use some,
Hi, Patty.
Use this, what is it, 3M tape. You can use Post-it note, washi tape, whatever. But I'm going to hold this here just because I'm going for that. I want to make sure I don't get over the edges. I mean, I don't want this to move is what I'm trying to say. There we go. All right. And I did learn when you put it through this way, it does, oh, I forgot something. It does feel kind of thick. And I don't want it to be thick. I want it to be able to fit through. The other thing is on this one, I am going to use, I actually have a piece of parchment paper. I do not have wax paper. We just don't use wax paper. So I just have a piece of parchment paper, which works really well. And let's get that back on there. I'm going to pull this down so I can see the pieces I'm trying to show you. And then on the other hand, I'm like, well, maybe it doesn't really matter. All right. Those are not going to get die cut out. There we go. Okay. The other thing I found, because it's pretty thick, if I turn it at an angle, it actually goes through a little bit easier. I can't angle it too much because this bottom part has to get through. But if I go straight through, it just is a little bit tough to get through. So let's go ahead. I think I'm over enough. I hope so. We'll see. Watching that edge. I'm going to come back and I'm going to angle it a little less. It's all taped together, so I should be fine, right?
I missed it. Why are you angling?
Because when you go through this way, it's just really, really tight. And so there we go. That's going to be a little bit better. Somehow when you angle it, it doesn't feel as tight.
Because you start with a smaller piece of it. I'm
going to go, yes, exactly. I'm going to go through. Once I feel that die pop out, I'm going to come back. And I'm going to do it one more time. And the die is facing up, if you didn't notice that. This time it is going through a lot simpler than the first time. It's not hard. It just, I can feel that it's running through a lot better. I'm going to set that on the floor.
One thing with the packaging that's interesting, if you think back to when we had wood mount stamps, those were so big.
Yeah.
Then we have our most recent old one, which was narrower, and now we have one that takes up even less space. So we're getting smaller and smaller. All
right. So I'm going to use my little foam mat here, and I'm going to do two things. First, we're going to take this off. My little tape, which gets really stuck on because I did. Hopefully it'll come right off.
It a couple times.
Yeah, but it'll be worth it. Okay, so maybe washi tape, maybe Post-it note. We'll have to see. I'm going to just leave those there because it's going to get covered. I'm going to start from this side. There we go. Maybe that will be better. Let me get these off. Better. I'm not going to worry about those right now.
It'll be on the back. So.
Pardon?
Isn't that going to be in the back?
It's going to be on the inside, and you won't be able to see it because there's white that's going to cover those.
Exactly.
There we go. Except right on the edge. I just want to get that little piece off, perhaps. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this off, It comes off so well with the look how pretty
Parchment.
with the parchment paper. I'm like, oh, you could use that. Okay, and then I'm just gonna throw it away. I don't need it, but I am going to. Thank you, Jit. I am going to go ahead and brush this here, and then I'm going to flip it over and brush it here. And I can see I really better than the first one. The first one I did not use the parchment paper. And so I can just see that this one is definitely coming out better. I got a couple that seem like they're still sticking there, but just a few, not too many. And then if I feel like I need to, I can always turn it over one more time and give it a little brush. This one is being stubborn, which is why I'm going sideways. There's one right there. Okay. And I just heard about a desk vacuum, Dave. It's a little and it all picks up. Now, they might be in our Amazon cart, but I'm, not sure. Okay. So if we look at this, do you see now how this edge is perfect? And this edge, these did not get cut out like the yellow one. They did not get cut out like that because I was more intentional what I did up there.
Mary Jo said wax paper made all the difference.
Yes, agreed. So what we're going to do is actually put this inside here. And I will tell you, this is 4 1/4 by 11. And then this one I cut down to, it's 4, obviously, 4 going in that 2 inches by 10 1/2. I just went down.
You can use either.
What's that?
Parchment or wax.
Yes, because I use parchment, although wax works really well. And I did not try just rubbing it on here like this. That's what I usually do. I did not try that. But I think this one has so much detail. I'm going to want to run it through. All right. I'm going to set that down right there. And now, so when you close your card, you can see how the white lines up right here. Well, when I open it, it's different, right? So I can't, if I glue this down like that, if I glue the whole thing down, it's not going to open. So what I'm going to do is grab a couple glue dots and just stick them up here. And then I will show you what it's going to do. And it will close. It looks so pretty. And then we'll decorate the front. So I'm going to put these where there are no holes. So I've got one there. Let's scooch over a little bit here. Got one there. Got a glue dot on my thing. Take your pick. Go there. And here I'm going to put 4 on and 1 more. And right there. Okay. So I've got my glue dots on. I am just going to fold it closed like that. And it's so pretty. And then when you open it, you have a little buckle, but I think it's okay. Once we put our piece here, you're not really going to notice that. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, I love that hydrated hue. Okay, one more thing you have to do before you put your die away is get rid of all these little things, all these little pieces, because next time you use it, you're going to want it to be clean. Look at that. The other thing I do is I just tap it, and that takes out a lot of them. I have just one more right there. Otherwise, it's pretty clean. Sorry, there you go. Okay, and until I get my vacuum, I will just push those on the floor. All right, here we go. I am going to use another die from that little set that I showed you, the Winnie the Pooh. That's what I call it, the Winnie the Pooh set. This is Sweet Words and Labels, but I am going to use a different shape here. I'm not going to layer it. Instead, I'm going to stamp it with black ink, and then we'll put a sentiment inside. So we'll grab our Memento. We do have a new ink. I haven't used it enough to say.
A hybrid.
Hybrid, right. And I haven't used it with colors, so I don't, or with painting or drawing or blending pens or any Stampin' Blends, any of that. All right, let's see. I think this is going to make a big difference on here if we can get it on. Got to commit. It's the hardest thing on this. Commit. Oh, so pretty. Because I didn't want to layer another one. I just thought, well, what can we do instead? And then I thought, oh, it would look really pretty with a little stamp. Although it would look really pretty with a layer as well. Maybe, Dave, I'm going to have you go make a layer for me.
Of what?
No, I don't think I am. Never mind. I'm going to stick with this. Okay, so on this, I'm going to do that same happy birthday because I think that looks sweet. And, oopsie. Same happy birthday. Oh boy, did you see I totally smudged all of that.
Oh.
Bummer. I'm going to flip it over. Make sure I'm clean. Let's do it one more time, and then I won't touch it for a moment. And stick this on. Stamp it. There we go. There we go. Okay, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch. There we go. All right, I'll stick my little happy birthday in here. I'd be happy to get this. There we go. Happy birthday. And the coordinating color I thought would be fun with this one is Bubble Bath and I did the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing with those little flowers. Just don't want to touch that. Bubble Bath and Seafoam. I thought it would be really pretty. Same flowers from that same other die set. There. I do cut these out 2 at a time. I forget who asked about the cutting. Did that make sense? How to cut the die?
Jan had a question, but she didn't say specifically what it was.
All right. Well, pop it in there and we'll get that answered for you. All right. I need my little dimensionals, which I know are out because I know I used them. Here they are. All right. Grab a little dimensional here for that last flower. 3 is our magic number, right? There we go. Okay. And put that there. All right, let's just tuck all that in there and let it be. Maybe it goes down. I don't know. All right, let's stick this on here. And I'm just going to go directly on. Yeah, I am. I don't know. I don't usually do it this way. I usually stick it on, decorate it, but that's okay. That's what I was afraid of. That's all right. It's glue. It's going to stick back on. There we go. And because this one is a little bit smaller, I am going to take some twine and just the white twine. It comes in the Baker's Essential Pack. And I'm going to wrap it around here, give it a little something, something on the edge. And looks good. My finger is sticky. All right, so I wrapped it around twice. I like to do 2 with these if you want to make a bit of a statement. It's pretty narrow for just one. Ooh, keep that down. Stay down. There we go. And put a bow up here. I'm going to tie it in a knot first, and then I'll make a bow right there. All right, how's your weekend going so far? You would use 2. Oh, that buckle would drive you crazy, Diane? Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
That's good call. You could do either for sure. All right, and then I'm just going to tie a bow here and then pop something in the middle of our little, there we go, in the middle of our little flower. Snip, 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 snip. And in the middle of the flower, hello, why don't we use the same color, the hydrangea hue? How pretty is that? And I'm going to take your pick and just grab these little ones. I think they're so fun. Ooh, I'm going to hold that up to the camera really close so you can see it. These are shiny, shimmery. They're called just in color dots, but they are super shiny. And tuck that under and one more. One more. Come on. There we go. Look how pretty that is. It's so pretty. I'm not going to stamp. Oopsie. Not going to stamp anything on the inside, but
beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Oh, it sounds like the wax paper, parchment paper might do the trick for Jan.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, did you have anything you want to tell us? Yeah. I have one last thing I want to show, but it's partially made, so go ahead.
So, as you know, for everything, go to thestamperstudio.com. Scroll on down to shop for products. That's where you can order this product of the month right now. But I also want to remind you that Stampin' Into Summer registration has opened. Stampin' Into Summer is our virtual event that we do with our friends Amy and Tracy. We have expanded. If you saw Super Stampin' Sunday, Super Stampin' Weekend, we are now doing 9 hours of presentation as a part of this. So 3 hours Friday night, 3 hours Saturday morning, 3 hours Saturday afternoon.
It flew by. I was shocked, actually.
Don't worry, you don't have to stay live for all of it if you can't, because we record everything. So you can always go back and watch anything that you weren't able to see live. Now, with that, with each of those 9 hours, you get 9 Stampin' projects. So we will send you all of the materials for making the make and take for each product that's demonstrated. So 9 projects that go with 9 products, and all of that comes to you in your fun prize box, or our party box, as we like to refer to it. So register today. Like I said, scroll on down to click the registration button, and you can do that. You do have an option if you want to do digital only and not get the party box with all the make and takes, but that's not very fun. But you can, if you really want to, you could. But I will say that virtually all did the full party box last time. So join us for Super Stampin' Into Summer Weekend. Sorry, mixing my events there. May 29th and 30th. You have to register by May, I want to say it's the 10th. Sorry, don't have that in my mind yet. But register today so you don't forget, and you get in there with Stampin' Into Summer.
Thank you. All right, this card I partially have done, but I just wanted to try it on gold. It is stunning. Look at that gold, and that's the full size, the 4 1/4 by 6. So then I thought, well, I'm not just going to not use this, right? So I started to put together just using black. So of course, if I went a little bit wider, so it's it says 4. It's 5. I can't remember. Let me just measure. I can't remember. So yeah, it's just a little bit over 6, and this way is our normal. Oh no, a little bit over 9. So like a 1/8 of an inch over 6 and an 1/8 of an inch over 9. Just look how pretty that is. All right, let's stick it on. It's so pretty. Who knows where that little green came from, but it's hidden. I don't care. I'm going to use a good amount of adhesive on this because it is gold. And I made it exactly like I just showed you with the other one. You just run it through 2 times with the either wax or parchment paper. Okay, and then I thought, well, let's go ahead. Isn't that stunning? Oh my gosh. Let's go ahead and put on a sentiment. I'm like, oh, 50th anniversary. And I thought, well, why don't I emboss it? I don't emboss too much anymore, but I think that calls for it. So I'm just going to go right down a little bit, not in the middle, but I'm going to go a little bit low on that.
Bottom third.
Bottom third. Not going to pop it up. Don't pass out.
Oof.
I know. Well, we have so much. It's so beautiful. All right. So bottom third like that. So pretty. Okay. Then I went ahead with those same flowers. I die cut out some in vellum. So I thought, well, I'm not quite sure.
Let me just say, if you stopped right there, it could also be a graduation card.
It could also be, it could be anything, right? It still could be an anniversary card if you stop right there too. So I am going to, I die cut out gold, and I thought, well, maybe I need something behind it because the little golds are kind of small, right? The little flowers are kind of small. And I thought, well, that's kind of gold on gold. What if we layer, just don't know if there's 2 here or not. What if we layer these, like over here, maybe put this one on the bottom. Most definitely there's 2. Put that on the bottom, kind of set this offset like that, and put the gold in the middle. I think it would be really pretty. And before I stick them on, if we just take our mat, and do a little bit of, like, if you just push this to make it pop up a little bit, and same with this, kind of to make it a little bit more of a flower. Just push on the edges of that. All right, let's go ahead and assemble this. I think it's just so pretty. Oh, yes, this background is just amazing. I'm loving it. Loving it. Okay, and I know I just did put the glue right where the holes are. The hole is. That's okay. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue around here and go like that. Pop it, let it sit in there, and this last one I'm going to use a dimensional on to get this popped up.
Mary Jo says, ooh, ah.
Right? Mary Jo, thank you. I just think it's just so pretty.
A lot of people sharing the love of the new hydrangea hue. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a little dimensional, but that's okay. I'll just use a little piece of my, I always have these. Did you have them there? Oh, yes, he does. The hand comes through from the other side. I love it. So let's just grab one of these. I'm just going to take that off. Sometimes I like to do that with the little ones because they're a little bit harder for me to pick up. And, you know, I have glue on there, so that's going to take a moment. But let's put this right in the middle there. I'm just going to hold that for a second. Get my vellum where I want it to be. Over a little bit. It slid. All right, let's get my vellum where I want it to be. There we go. All right, I'm just going to hold that there. And then we can just put, we could just add anything we want here. Maybe one more flower up here, one down here, and then we'll be done. What do you think? I think the layering is just really pretty. So again, I'm just going to go with the glue here. I'm going to do this one actually off a little bit. Pop that there. And of course, do one down here, like that. And I'm just going to put glue right on top of this to get my vellum. I'm a little generous with the glue this morning. So I know I did do these in double. I tend to do doubles because then it's only one run through. But if you spend all the time doing this, I don't know how helpful that is, right? That's okay. All right, so let's stick that one on. I know I didn't do our little fancy thing with like I pushed down, but I think we're okay. And this one right there. And I'm not going to pop that up. I'm just going to drop it in that little hole right there. Let's use this side and just get that right there. That's okay. That glue is going to dry. I'm not concerned about that. Drop that one in. But wait. Drop that in there. Let all that sit for a moment. I was debating on, and I don't think I need them, but I was debating I could pop a little middle, but I don't think you'll see it. I don't think you'll be able to see that little bit in the middle. I was looking for some ribbon, and Dave can look, but I am not sure. I found both of these. They're not marked as retired, but I cannot guarantee that because things come and go very quickly. And I'm thinking I'm going to use this one. This is the gold striped ribbon. Oh, so pretty. All right. Do we know anybody with a 50th anniversary? Probably not, but I do think it'd be so pretty. Let's pull this around. I'm going to turn it upside down so I can have the ribbon closer to me. I'm not reaching over my glue. There we go. I was kind of generous with this ribbon too. But I'm going to put the bow right over here so it offsets the two flowers there, the weight of that. Get that. There we go. Okay. And pull that nice and taut. And then I was looking for an anniversary stamp to put on the inside because that's what I wanted to do. Oh my goodness. Come on. It's so pretty. What do you guys think? Do we have any comments on?
Ooh, ah.
Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah is right. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put that over there. So I don't want to stamp happy anniversary on the inside because I want to let it dry. But I was thinking too that I could use the happy anniversary from the Blooming Phrases, or there is another one, this Reason to Celebrate, but this one looks a little bit more whimsical. So I don't feel like that goes with this beautiful card. Right. So like I said, I'm not going to stamp it inside right now because I don't want to ruin my ruin my flowers. So there we go. Let me pull those three out. Okay, this die, I was like, wow. You know, sometimes Stampin' Up keeps coming up with things. I'm like, how did that come out? Another one, even better. Look at that. Aren't those pretty? Using this beautiful die. And now you know how to use it too. I'm trying to pick out which one I like. I really like the Hydrangea Hue, probably because it's a new color. But I really like all of them. I think they look really, really pretty. So that's what I have for you. I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We're going to go. It's funny, the mermaid last night, Frankie's like, I know how to do the hula. I was like, oh, I didn't know mermaids hula. Anyway, Dan bought some tails for each of the girls. So it should be very fun. We'll have some pictures maybe next week or next Monday. All right, friends, you have a wonderful weekend. I look forward to seeing you on Monday. And I would not wait on this one because once the product of the month are gone, they're gone. They're gone. $75, it's $5 free. $75 order, it's $5 to buy. All right, friends, that's all. I look forward to seeing you on Monday, and until then, happy stamping.
Saturday in the studio, come on in. Lisa and Dave, let the fun begin. Let's make some magic. Let's make some